TIFU by saying, "See you later," to a woman on her deathbed. Just as the title says, my 98-year-old great-grandmother-in-law is on her way out, in and out of rehabs. Recently had a stroke, and has been living with in-laws for the last couple months. And I went to drop my wife off to spend her last couple days with her. I held her hand, went in for a hug on my way out the door and accidentally said, "See you later, Grandem. It was nice to see you, Grandma." Quote. My father-in-law lost his mind laughing at me and I turned beet red. She's a good sport though, so it wasn't too bad. Provided this was just after my in-laws said to Grandma, "Are you going to have a good time with wife this week?" And she said, "Well, I hope not too much time, so she's ready to go." Anyways, just wanted to share one of the most uncomfortable moments of my life with y'all. TL. D. Erikamon now, read the title. This one's short and sweet. Someone accidentally threw my great-grandmother's ashes away. Vase broke. Thought it was dirt. I passed by the trash can and told my mom that the first time I met my great-grandma was me walking past a trash can. She thought it was hilarious. I don't think anyone else would though. Relax. My wife said to 3 kids who lost their father, "Are you kids having fun?" At their father's funeral. People say stuff weirdly all the time. It's part of the human condition. Don't let it get to you. To this day she says, "Did I say something weird to those kids?" And I always say, "Nope." Why? TBH, that "see you later" was probably a good thing to say. I told my grandma the same thing before she passed. But the smile on her face whenever I said it meant everything to me. Especially when the next time I saw her she didn't remember who I was. I worked reservations at an airline. It was not uncommon to assist travelers flying to a funeral, often for a close family member. I cannot tell you how many times I finished the call with a breezy, "Have a great flight," before I realized what I was saying. To be fair, I also got a lot of responses, in non-funeral situations, of, "You, too," when I wished customers a good flight. Those who recognized it often became flustered. So I told them that I had a flight coming up soon. So thank you. Maybe you will see her again. Nobody knows for sure. My grandma was near death. Like everyone was gathering and expecting it to be any minute. She made it through that night, and improved somewhat and lived another couple months before passing. You're not the first to say something stupid in a delicate situation, and I dare say you will not be the last. I used to work on a cancer care ward. My very first shift, I go into a side room to take a set of observations from a young woman who is undergoing chemotherapy. When I was finished, I said to her, "That's me done. I'll get out of your hair now." As I closed the door to her room, I realized what I had said and cringed so hard. I could not bring myself to go in and apologize to her. I felt so bad. Another notable speech misstep was when I asked a guy in a wheelchair if he was ready to rock and roll. Quote. If you believe in an afterlife, for sure you will meet again. That could be a lot worse. Like my dad who mixed up a birthday card and a condolence letter. IDK, what's worse? Receiving a "happy birthday" for a past loved one or a "sorry for your loss" on your birthday. Both families were good sports about it and laughed their asses off after knowing what happened. I told my aunt, "See you later," when she was dying, and it was for sure the last time we would see her. She was rapidly declining and saying her goodbyes so no one outside of the immediate family would have to see her in a bad way. I didn't know how to respond, and in a sense I hope I will see her again. Just not sure when and how. I have a more sad tale on this. My grandmother made the decision to cease care a few years ago after a few days of being intubated. Care was due to end the next morning, and she asked if I would be there. I promised I would come back that morning. I asked my mom to wake me up so I could go to the hospital before I went to bed. The next day, I woke up about 9 a.m., and everyone was gone. My mom had let me oversleep, and told me over the phone that it was because she didn't want me to see my grandmother in that condition. And it was really horrible. I am still very sad. And a little mad. Years later. Because that should have been my choice. Mom wanted me to remember my grandmother at her best. And I get that. But I made a promise. And she forced me to break it. I'm a hospice social worker. And I often will tell my patients, "See you later," as I leave. Sometimes when they are imminently dying. Last anticipated 24/48 of an hour or so. I say it but with a different tone. For those that share like spiritual beliefs, it is a comfort. For those that don't, it is hope of a better life and a reunion of two people without the stress and worry of the body failing. You're good. It might have been more comforting than you realize. TBH, this would make me die laughing. I hope someone says this to me, tears of joy. Those reflexive phrases we use. Totally understandable both in the use and feeling embarrassed. I'm a member of a forum for users of the same CNC I have. And someone shared a beautiful project they made for their in-law to remember a lost loved one. It was absolutely amazing. And without thinking I posted a comment like, "Wow. Incredible work. This is absolutely killer." Quote. I quickly realized the goof and edited it, but still worried that reply notifications would contain the original statement. When my uncle wasn't doing so great, he called me from the terminal ward, and when the call was over I said not to worry. We will meet up when he's better. It was more to keep thinking positive. It gave him a chuckle, and that's what matters. I know a guy who brought in a box of Cadbury's Celebrations to a cancer patient. My first semester in nursing school was doing my practicum on an oncology ward. I was making small talk with a patient about the upcoming baseball season and how our team had some promise this year, and the man said, "Yeah, I don't think I'll be seeing that." Learned he was terminal and would not be going home. Honestly, that's hysterical. My grandmother's last words to me before she died were, "See you later." Quote. I mean, if you believe in an afterlife, heaven of any sort, then it's appropriate. I refused to say goodbye to my late grandmothers and instead said, "I'll see you soon," along with a heartfelt, "I love you." And it's because I personally believe I'll meet them again. If I'd been able to see my grandma in the hospice before she died, I'd have probably said the same. Or Sim 6. Till. It just happens sometimes. A faux pas. One of my best friends had part of an arm just below the elbow missing since birth. Working on a job together one day, I asked him, "Can you give me a hand?" Thankfully he took it well. "Only one," he replied, then laughed. Still, I felt like shit all day. I was so embarrassed.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.